Hi, my name's Gemma Taylor. I'm the Technology Teacher CPD Lead at the National Science Learning Centre, and this is another one of our videos which focuses on Scratch. We're doing talking and thinking today, looking at storyboards. So I've got my Scratch file already loaded, I've got my sprite on the screen, and there's no code to be seen. So let's start afresh. We're going to go through the basics first. So we're looking at talking and thinking. We've got a say block, another say block, a think, and a think. Now the difference between these blocks is the time that you've got. So if I give it a test, sprite says hello, and then it resets. If I click on this one, it won't reset because there's no time limit on it. So we're going to drop that back now. Stop that program. If I click on here, same with think, you can see the little thought bubbles come up. It'll think for a short amount of time. And down here, if I press this, then it'll think permanently until I stop the program. So how do we use that as part of a program? Well, if we use our flag button, so when we click the green flag we start the program, what we can do is we can have a little storyboard. So we could have our cat saying hello for a second. Maybe the cat then has a think for a couple of seconds. Okay, I'm late, I better go. And then we could have our cat saying another little comment. And then let's put a little hide in. So I'll play that. And our cat goes, tiny little storyboard. Now if I want to restart that program, what you'll notice is the sprite's now disappeared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put show just up here so that when the program starts, we always have the sprite showing. Brilliant. So that's an example of a program you can use. If we want to use another sprite, what we do, we can add, let's add a butterfly. Now I've got two sprites on the screen that we can work with. I think I'm going to dump this code actually and start afresh. So I've got these two sprites. Now what I want is for them to talk to each other. So I'm going to go into the butterfly costume and I'm going to press this button here, which will flip my butterfly around. I'm going to put him a little higher. I'm going to use this button up here to shrink, to make it a bit more size realistic, and then we can start a conversation. So again, I'm going to use, I'll start it with a key this time, so we're going to use a space bar to start our program. So the first thing we can have is, we're looking at our butterfly, and we can have our butterfly say hello. I'm going to use 1 second here. Now I know I'm putting code onto the butterfly because I've got a little butterfly logo in the corner. If I click on my cat sprite, you can see the logo changes and I've got a whole new set of code. So for this I'm going to put my space bar on again, and my looks, I'm going to say hello for a second. So if I run that through, start the program, press space bar, they both say hello. And what I want is for them to be staggered, for there to be a little bit of a time gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a wait block. Connect that up again, run the program, and now we've got a bit of conversation forming. Now we can grow that, so we could have, I'm going to put a wait in again, and then we could have the cat say, how are you, to the butterfly. And we can have the butterfly replying. So I'm going to put a wait in again, and then put another 1 second of I'm fine, how are you? Oh, but then we see here that we're a bit out of kilter, so we need to go back through and work out. I think we need an extra second on here just to give it time. So let's have a look, see if that works. Not long enough. So what we'll do is, instead of adding another block, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to 3 seconds, which is a more efficient code. Perfect. Right, so you can see you're starting to build a storyboard effect. Now we can add a backdrop to that. If I click on my stage and I go to backdrops, I can put them in a scenario. So I'm going to pick one from the library, just put them on a boardwalk. Brilliant, so now I've got my two sprites in a place. Now, what if I want to add some music to this? So what I can do is, on the background, I quite fancy having a bit of a theme tune, so I'm going to go to Sounds. I'm going to choose from the library. I'm going to go to some, let's have a look at percussion. Oh, music loops, there we are. What about medieval? There we are, so we're going to put a medieval backdrop in. For some reason I've chosen a pop. There we are, medieval backdrop. Brilliant. So if I want to make that backdrop play, I can go back to my scripts and I can say when the spacebar clicked, we'll go to Sounds and we're going to play Sounds Medieval. I'm going to do it until the sound's done. So let's run that script again. So now we've got a bit of music playing. If we want to put some other sounds in, we could have a sound effect with a butterfly. So maybe we want to have we could have a footsteps or a gong. I'm going to go for a gong. So I've got my gong music in there. Maybe I don't want all of my gong, so I might choose to get rid of that little section. So I'm going to cut that. So if we play that, brilliant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that section as well. I'm going to make it a lot smaller. So now what I can do with that gong sound is I can click on my butterfly, and when the space key's pressed I can play the sound gong. Let's play that. And now I've started to use sound in our storyboard. There are lots of other sound functions, and later videos I go through are going to be talking about how to use instruments. But just for now, we've got talking, thinking, and we've got using some sound effects as part of a storyboard. Well, thank you for watching. If you want more information, then you can go to my blog, or you can catch me on Twitter, or come to the National Science Learning Centre page and find out about the courses we run.